It really does truly feel like we're in Armageddon right now for gaming. And it is ridiculous the amount of stuff that has happened in the last week. Just nothing but bad news. And I'm gonna go through all the topics now, just list them off real quick. We're gonna try to go in depth with each of them. We might not have the time, but as a short list, we have the Steam Machine price getting revealed. $1,050 for the base price. $1,428 for the highest tier. We have Xbox. Yeah,
which is
it's
so
it's
high. It
ridiculous.
is so high. It is ridiculous. I've heard people say this basically. This is the price of a gaming PC. I just don't know what the point is.
Then we have Xbox going full firing squad mode on all of its studios, as all of the studios are trying to bargain for their lives, trying to just stay alive as they're threatening to basically shut them all down. Then we have the big one yesterday, GTA 6 revealed as an $80 release and a code in a box.
Ugh, it is a horrible thing that they are doing. I cannot believe that. But yeah, continue.
And then, although this is kind of odd duck, we have yesterday Deltarune Chapter 5 released, which, while not quite bad news, it's good news. Myself and many others were kind of disappointed with the chapter. It's not a bad chapter, but we do have some disappointments with it that we're going to go over soon. And just today, this is already a jam-packed list, but today, literally like 2 hours ago, Xbox announced that they're increasing the price for their Series X up to $800. That is insanity. I thought the recent increase to $650 was already like, we're done. This is kind of like the height we're gonna go. The brand prices aren't. No, we're not done. It's still going. We're still going up.
Yeah, and I mean for Xbox, I mean all goddamn respect for Xbox, but for $800 again. You can start buying PCs for that price that, run games. I have a laptop that runs, pretty good games. That cost me £400. Even when prices were up, this was in November. For $800, who the hell are you selling a console to?
Yeah, I think games wise we're not doing too bad, but when it comes to just business strategy, the state of the industry and state of technology and the pricing of it all, I don't think gaming has been in a worse shape for over 40 years. It has never been this bad.
No,
it is.
It has absolutely never been this bad. It is a
I'm
ridiculous notion.
I've never been a believer in the idea that we're about to see another video game crash. I don't think that's possible. The only reason there was a video game crash all the way back then is because gaming was relatively a very small industry, and so it was very easily prone to such a crash. When gaming is now the biggest industry in the entertainment industry as a whole, it's basically really hard to take down at a significant level. But I have said that if GTA 6 does end up being a flop, or these sort of practices do continue on, we may see something, not quite a crash, but something significant enough to see a massive shake-up in the way our industry functions.
And I mean, it would be great. I think for the first moments it would be bad because this big project just failed, but and people think it's a sure thing, and I've been arguing all day with some people. I don't think this GTA 6 release is a sure thing at all. I'm starting to see cracks in it, right? I mean, it's a code in a box.
Right. Just strategies. We'll go into GTA 6 later. We'll talk about it later. That's sort of the big boy of this episode. But we're gonna start with sort of the softball, which ironically in any other episode of the show would not be a softball. Deltarune Chapter 5.
Yeah.
What did you think about it? No spoilers. We're not going to spoil it. It's only been a day, but
Yeah.
Your thoughts generally.
Without spoiling the game, I mean, I boiled down this to you earlier, 2 hours ago or so, after I finished the game and sort of ruminated on it. And I think I can boil it down to one sentence, which I told you exactly, which is, it's a great steak, but no seasoning. It just has no seasoning. Great piece of meat in there, but, just no pepper to make it exciting. You know what I mean? It is more Deltarune. It is exactly what we expect of Deltarune, and at this point, I don't know if that's enough. I mean, the stakes in the story are so damn high, and suddenly we have this sort of chiller episode, which I think, if this game was released in full, wouldn't be positioned here, because it really does sort of mess with the pacing of the game, I would say. And then there was just some big disappointments of things that were being built up by the game, and I felt just weren't paid off enough. And that happened this chapter. I mean, namely your main concern. And I wouldn't consider this a spoiler, but the festival happens, and it's really not that big of a deal. And they talk about that constantly throughout the other chapters, right? So really, great steak, but no seasoning.
Yeah, no, I think I wrote a review of the chapter on Backlog shortly after I beat it, and just to put my thoughts succinctly in a very simple way, how I put it was, if Deltarune were a Saturday morning cartoon where dark worlds open up and a trio of heroes go on a goofy fun adventure, then Chapter 5 would easily be the strongest one so far in the game. But the issue with that is, while Deltarune Chapter 5, I think gameplay wise and in sort of the charms of the writing is extremely strong, especially gameplay wise. I think it's the best gameplay out of all of the chapters. It's not even close.
Definitely. I mean, it is not just the best gameplay, it is a fresh gameplay, actually. I mean, we've been seeing the same thing, the bullet hell sort of aspect of it, and there is a little extra in this game, which I'm not going to spoil for you what it is, so you find out for yourself. There's a little extra in there that is quite refreshing and really does shake things up, and it's the most fun you have. And I agree with that. I mean, I told you earlier today, which I was giving you my thoughts generally. I said, this guy... I think, actually, it was yesterday where I was pissed off at the game, which didn't help, but... but I was saying, man, this Toby Fox guy, as soon as the little fucking ghoul shows up, right? I was like, man, this guy's been making a villain of the week show, except instead of it being every week, it's every 5 years, which is could be all right, but it's a bit disappointing at times. And with this one, I also just think the story they tell and what I thought was going to be the main character and what they sort of build up the main character to be, right, wasn't very exciting at all. I thought it was sort of mishandled. And another thing, I'm sort of getting too much time here maybe for you, but it's dawned on me that Toby Fox has never written a long narrative. I don't know if that's dawned on you, right? He's written small games, short games. The hacks that he made for Earthbound were very short. And obviously Undertale is a very short video game, which plays to its strength because it has the exact time it needs. And I'm starting to think, and I'm starting to fear, he might, and excuse the language, he might poop the bed with these two last chapters, because I remember finishing chapter 4 and thinking, wow, we have so much to tie up in 3 chapters. I hope he's able to do it. And then here comes this chapter, and it doesn't really tie anything down, and it sort of worries me. I don't know how you feel about that.
I mean, to be fair, I'm not fanatical about theory crafting or going sort of in depth in the lore. I'm not too invested in it, but I still had a feeling like it was a bit disappointing. I do have confidence that he will be able to wrap it up in 2 chapters. But I think when it comes to how the story is going to end, this is sort of getting out of the whole realm of chapter 5. I think, and we discussed this earlier, he said from the beginning that Deltarune is going to have just one ending. How is that possible anymore?
Yeah, how is that? I'm sorry,
I don't believe...
That's a great point you're making. I don't want to interrupt, but we do seem to have a caller on wait if you want to bring them in.
Oh yeah. Let me do that. Welcome to the call, Dinko.
Dinko, welcome to the call. Hello, Dinko.
Yeah, sorry.
Uh, do you have anything to say on this, Dinko? Is there anything?
I have never I have never played a single Deltarune game in my life.
All right. Cool. Anything you want to say aside from Deltarune then?
What kind of instruments y'all playing?
Um, I believe, I believe, I believe Fricka plays the flute, right, or like the recorder.
No.
The
Yeah,
recording.
No.
The guitar. I remember
No.
something about the guitar.
I play the guitar.
Yeah, the guitar.
the flute.
Yeah, I played the
Oh, well.
trombone and
Yeah,
the
yeah.
piano. What about you, Denko? What instrument do you play?
I play the flute.
Oh, that's pretty cool. What kind of music do you play on the flute?
Mainly classical stuff, you know.
No, that's pretty cool. Would you consider playing Deltarune music on the flute?
No, isn't that kind of gay? Like isn't it a bit of a sissy game?
I don't really know if it's a sissy game. I mean, it could be a sissy game. I don't think it is. I mean,
Could be
there's lesbian. Is sissy offensive?
lesbians.
Yeah, there's lesbians. I'm starting to get really worried what you might say next.
I have the cord. I can
No,
pull
I'm
the feed.
liberal.
All right. Dinko.
Oh, I'm glad you. I am glad. Do you also have black friends?
Yeah. Could you clarify that?
No, I vote Green Party.
You vote Green Party. All right.
I'm glad.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Thank you, Dingo, for your opinions on.
Dinko, sorry, Dinko.
Oh,
If you're gonna say
sorry.
shit like, you know.
Sorry. I thought. Yeah, I got. The animal and
Oh,
whatnot.
by the way, yeah, I have some questions. You think it's like weird, like following someone home?
Yeah. Okay.
I've taken it out. I've taken it out.
Yeah. All right. I don't. All right. Okay. I don't really know.
All right.
I don't really know. Please go.
On the topic of Deltarune, chapter 5. Every single chapter has had its own distinct identity and theming, and it's been strong with all of the chapters. I feel like chapter 5 is the first chapter where Toby has run out of ideas, because it goes for a whole flower like shop theming, right?
Yeah.
But it becomes at a point just place Japan, even
No.
though the shop has no Japanese theming. It is mostly just Japanese.
Yeah, it just plays Japan. I mean, I really like the other like kingdom. I guess they're not necessarily kingdoms. I really like the other places and the other chapters. They're all really creative, and they all use their respective themings really creatively. And Toby Fox decided, but I really like Japan. And that's really, I think that was his, like that. I just like Japan. And there's a consequence to that, unfortunately, is that every song sounds really Japanese, which isn't necessarily bad, but I felt for it the most forgettable soundtrack yet on Deltarune.
I'm not gonna name the specific area, but you know the final area. Well, not the final, the second final area in chapter 5, and it's the big place and the music. You know the music I'm talking about, right? The area theme.
Yeah.
And it's just the most Japanese music ever. Like, I guess flowers, maybe. Oh no, flowers are inherently Japanese.
They're
What?
not, no.
They're
And
not inherently Japanese.
Yeah, it's not even like, Israel got a cherry tree and there's cherry plum. No, they don't even do that. It's just Japanese for no reason whatsoever, and it's a bit upsetting. It's such a boring like theme to it. I like, it's so boring, and there's like, it's just so boring. I'm not gonna say anything else, or I might spoil something, which I really don't want to do.
It's such a shame, because it's such a fun chapter to play and such a fun chapter to explore, that it's unfortunately sort of held down, but not so much like significant like facial flaws, but these little things that you start to notice that just kind of bring it down enough where it feels like this is kind of just disappointing, or at least not on par in some elements as other chapters.
Yeah, no, I agree with that, but I guess that's sort of I'm just worried. I think I'm just worried for what's gonna happen in the next 2 chapters, and also I was just sort of, I don't know, this one, it felt weird. The flower characters are really good, but they're not really introduced very well. I felt it all felt a bit weird at times, especially because the 2 first flowers that are introduced is a bit bizarre, but I don't know. It just, everything was a bit off to me, and that might be a me problem, but I don't know. Everything was a bit off, I felt. But it was still a nice, enjoyable game. It's Deltarune. It's an enjoyable game. The secret boss, though, I hated it. I hated everything about it. I hated the song, the design, the gameplay. I just did not enjoy it.
Can't really say much about why you hate it without spoiling it. So we'll not get into that. We'll move on from Deltarune.
Sorry, there's
final thought.
No. There's a member of the audience. Yeah, the call-ins are about to close now, actually. But Dinko, you were already on the call. For our next topic, you can come in again. Maybe, I don't know. But yeah,
We can bring them in before we move on to the. But I'm not entirely keen, but. We'll see. We'll see what they have to say.
Yeah, that last question was weird. Yeah, please move on.
All right. Welcome to the call again, Dinka.
All right.
Sorry, I can't talk right now. I'm watching the game.
You're watching the game.
What game?
What game? I think I know which
Germany,
game.
Ecuador.
Ecuador. What's
Germany, Ecuador.
Yeah, Ecuador's winning, right?
Dumbass. It's tied.
Oh, it's tied.
1-1.
Thank you. We have a
1-1, 60 minutes.
Oh, 1-1, 60 minutes. All right. That's for Germany. That's a bit peculiar, isn't it?
And that right.
We have a second caller trying to chime in.
All right.
One moment.
Yeah, get it.
Welcome in, Games McGamesley.
Yeah, I'll just fuck right out.
There was an unfortunate instance at my birth that this is my name, but I actually don't play video games. But I feel like you're missing out on some important news by not talking about the fact that Oliver Tree died in a helicopter crash.
Who?
All right,
important news. Important news.
Who is that? Who did you say?
R.I.P.
Oliver Tree, come on now, he's a cultural touchdown.
Wasn't I feel like there's a, I don't know. I feel like there's a more famous helicopter death. Is that him?
Yeah,
I can't bear that song. You're gone. You're gone, Dinko. I hate that song so much.
But
Oliver Tree was a very annoying individual, and I cannot condone the death of individuals.
I'm glad that you put those sentences right beside each other.
Wait, you can't condone it, but what does?
He's a very annoying individual, and I can't condone the death of individuals. The party on the helicopter, though.
Look.
When you're talking about numerous people, can we get into that?
What do you mean? I just think there's if you're gonna talk about helicopter deaths on the show, I mean, didn't Kobe drop? I feel like Kobe was a bit more of an icon, and he died in a helicopter. If that's gonna be
true. A helicopter crash this week?
No. Oh, was it this week?
Yes.
Oh, that's.
I did not feel like this week. I felt like last week. I think 2 weeks ago.
No, it's this week.
I don't know. Helicopters, they're not safe. Don't go in a helicopter. Don't do that. You're going to die.
Is that
Have you ever been on a propeller plane?
A propeller plane? No, I can't say I've been on a propeller plane.
There's, at the top of Ireland, the very tippity top.
Yeah?
There's an airport that only does propeller planes. And it only goes to Dublin.
And did you go on the plane?
Fuck no, that'd be a fucking waste of money, wouldn't it?
All right, I think that's enough of the call-ins for now. Thank you for joining us. You're not Dinko. That call-in thing was wrong.
Games McGamesley.
Yeah.
Thank you for calling in. All right, we'll move on to the next topic. The increasing price of consoles. initially this was just going to be about the Steam Machine, but now that the Xbox console has increased in price, this is turned into a much broader discussion. It doesn't have much nuance, unfortunately. It is essentially AI is bad, and AI has increased the price of consumer goods. And it is the reason why Steam Machine is $1,050, and it is the reason why Xbox is now $800. It is mental. It is mental, to say the least.
Yeah, it's absolutely mental. I mean, it's a ridiculous notion. Oh my lord, how can this be? Consoles at $800? What are we, in the 70s again? Like, am I buying a Pong machine? Who is doing this? It is ridiculous. It is actually awful that they do this. It's not their fault. It's AI's fault that is making everything more expensive. But I mean, what is there even to say about it? It's ridiculous. Poor Xbox was trying to redo, their whole company and like marketing, and now they gotta have to deal with this. I guess not poor Xbox. It's the company. I don't give a damn really, but you know what I mean.
I will say with Xbox, I grew up with the Xbox ecosystem, with the 360 and the Xbox One. These were the consoles that I grew up with. I did not grow up with a PlayStation. Let me be clear about that. Which
is very opposite to me. Where in this country, I don't think I've ever seen an Xbox 360 in my life. I don't think anyone owns one here. I saw an Xbox One once. That was rather exciting. And then I realized that it needed internet to work to do anything. And I was like, oh, that's kind of sucks.
No, yeah, PlayStation has had a monopoly on basically the whole of Europe for a very, very long time. They used to have a monopoly on Japan too, but that sort of ended when they shifted their focus to more American stuff, and now Nintendo is the one with the monopoly in Japan. So Xbox for a long time has sort of been the underdog when it comes to the console space, and they got very close with the 360. They dominated America, but they didn't do great in Japan and Europe, which held them back from selling as good as the PS3. And I haven't been part of that ecosystem in quite a while, but I recently, after their pretty good showcase earlier this month, I decided to resubscribe to Game Pass, and I played some of the games. I played Forza Horizon for the first time. I played stuff like Doom the Dark Ages and other sort of smaller games like Ninja Gaiden that I never played before, but I was able to access through Game Pass, all for £1. And that is... I'm pretty sure I calculated it. I'm pretty sure from that £1, I managed to get out a value of, I believe, over £350. So it is a very good deal. For 14 days, £1, I managed to play enough games to get that amount of value.
It's a good deal if you're unemployed.
Okay. Yes.
Okay.
So it's been very helpful for Xbox. I liked Game Pass. I enjoyed it. But sort of the mask has sort of come off recently. Where all of a sudden, like for a while now, the new CEO, Asher Sharma, was sort of trying to build, kind of like a parasocial relationship with the fans. And so sort of like, we're giving back to the fans. We're going to bring back old Xbox. We're going to bring it back to its glory. And now all of a sudden it's just like, bang. They've changed their attitude completely. We got a bunch of stuff in the news about Asher Sharma sending like a letter to all the studios saying, we're going to clean house. We're going to get rid of... And almost no comment publicly from her. Like, she used to be very proactive on Twitter, making comments and being engaged with the community. All of that, boom, done, gone. Now she's sort of locked in on improving the economic state of the studios, and she made recently a comment saying that it has become unsustainable for gamers to afford consoles.
Yeah.
The day after increases the price of the Xbox console. So I don't know what is going on. Of course, it's not her fault entirely, but it is clear that there is something funky going on in Xbox right now. I'm not sure what, but I did have an impression for a little bit that it was not quite a fully truthful facade she was putting on.
Yeah, it's starting to sound like it's do you think, because what would she say this if she knew that a price increase is coming? This is when we got to exercise our our little intelligence here. It almost sounds like I mean, she's the president, right? She's not in control. She's usually the president of these companies aren't the ones in control. They're the ones, you know, obeying the shareholders. Really.
Well, in this case, they're obeying the CEO of Microsoft.
Yeah, that's true, and especially in Xbox's case, which is even more complicated because they're one of, I believe, what is it, 4 companies or 5 companies that fall under the the Microsoft umbrella, which has obligations to its parent company, Microsoft, which is a really complicated thing. And really, I mean, poor lady can't really do anything if the higher ups at Microsoft tell her to do something. And it feels bizarre to me that this is what she would do. Yeah, I feel like she didn't know that those prices increases were coming, which is even more revealing of the hierarchy and the systems that are going on at that company, which are absolutely beyond mangled, it seems, which have been for a while from my understanding. I really don't know as much as I should about that one, but that's the feeling I get every time I see them on the news and whatnot.
Yeah, when she was first instated, it felt like a weird fit because she didn't have any experience, not just in the games industry, just with games in general. She had a lot to learn and a lot to catch up with, and she proved a lot of people wrong. She did. I'm saying this like this is the end of her tenure. This is going to be like the end, but it does feel like a shift is happening. It is probable that it is not entirely her fault, and sort of a switch has happened in Microsoft internally, and now she's being sort of whipped into shape to be much harder and cruel in her decision making. So that could be potentially what is happening.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. I think it could be that. I just think she was caught off guard too.
And then in the case of Valve, you already know, I have a pretty mixed opinion on Valve. A lot of people have a very positive impression with Valve because Steam is the most user-friendly platform for buying games out of all of them. It's not even a debate. It's not just in user-friendly, but in how easy it is to use.
Although famously, it is one of the less developer-friendly platforms. I believe they famously, especially for indie developers, it's really difficult to get your money back and your money's worth on Steam. And I think if your game makes $1 million on Steam, they have some sort of clause where they keep a lot of that money. As I believe it's kind of difficult for those indie developers. But yeah, keep going.
And the thing I've sort of held against Valve, number one, their big thing on introducing loot boxes and gambling, but that's a whole can of worms on itself. I think that whole thing should be thrown out. I don't know why it still exists under the current framework of Valve and how the industry is working. But the other big thing is starting with this. Well, they did a Steam machine before, and that didn't quite work out. But starting with the Steam Deck, they've sort of started a new initiative to start releasing a lot more pieces of hardware. And I bought the Steam Deck around the time of launch when you had to be in a queue to sort of back order it because there was some supply constraints. And when I got the Steam Deck, I was very happy with it because I didn't have a computer that ran games very well. And it was a pretty cheap alternative compared to getting a new PC to run the games that were already on my Steam library. And I had a pretty fun time. But then I got a PC that could actually run video games. When that happened...
Which actually, before you continue, I feel is worth mentioning. You actually did have a PC that could run the games.
Oh, right. Oh.
You just didn't have... what was it? You didn't have, like, the graphics card activated? It was running everything through your...
Yeah.
your RAM.
It was running through Eternal for 7 years. I think, like... It was an embarrassing moment for me. But anyways, when I got a PC that could actually run games, and it's the same PC I've had to this day, very powerful PC, not super powerful, but powerful. Ever since I got that, barely use the Steam Deck. There's been some circumstances that I've used it sort of for playing some emulated games. It's great for emulation. It's great for indie games. It's not good for playing modern releases or really anything that is quite demanding. And so it's sort of gone out of use, and that brings the concern in the case of the Steam Machine, which sort of, in my case, if the Steam Machine released when I didn't have a good PC, it would have been something appealing because I wanted a cheaper alternative to, and a cheaper and a simpler alternative to getting a normal PC. Because getting into PC gaming, I think unfortunately is quite hard to get into in some senses. And
yeah, but
with the Steam,
although I would say it is, I mean, for the price that they're selling it, a Steam Machine, it is doable.
No. At this current price, and in this current industry, it doesn't quite work. There have been some posted examples of people building PCs or finding pre-builts at the same price of a Steam Machine or less, or better specs. So there remains the argument that the Steam Machine is not the best method to get into PC gaming in a very, very simple way, especially because it has a Linux-based OS, which isn't compatible with every game that's going to be on your Steam library, or it won't be compatible with Epic Games Launcher or some Xbox games because these are Windows-based.
Yeah, no, obviously, that is a big problem, which wouldn't happen if you have a Windows computer.
My concern. Well, it's not quite a concern. It is a fact that the reason the Steam Machine is so expensive, other than AI, is because they don't have an intention to make this a loss leader, to cut the price to a point where they're making a loss. Even though Valve is making a lot of money, there's no reason to make a piece of hardware that makes a loss, because we have Switch 2, we have Xbox, we have PlayStation. These consoles are designed price-wise to make a loss when you purchase them, because then they make the returns on you buying and spending money on their ecosystem, because those consoles are the only way to get inside their ecosystem.
Yeah.
With Steam, you can get any computer, you can get a laptop, you can even stream stuff through your mobile phone. It is not hard to get into the Steam ecosystem, and you do not need a Steam Machine or a Steam Deck or a Steam Frame to get into the Steam ecosystem. So it doesn't make sense for them to price it at a cost that costs them, because it
So then why
because,
we gotta ask the question, why are they doing this? Why is this what we're getting?
I think it's just bad timing. I think when it was being planned in around like 2022, when they were going to make this, it made sense then, when the price of components weren't doing bad, and it would have been much more affordable and much more appealing as an option. But it's just, they don't really have a choice here. It's all been developed. They already have the contract signed. They have to go through with it. It is a sort of devil on their shoulder that they have to live with.
And yeah, I guess. I mean, I wasn't entirely sure that it was being developed for that long. It's just such a weird thing. It just feels so expensive and feels so obsolete already. I don't know if that makes sense to you, but it's the first console I see on release where I'm like, but why? What is the point of this? Like, who actually cares? And I don't know if that's just me or if that's like a thing that people agree with mostly.
I think it has some cool elements, but it's not. It's not the greatest thing in the world right now. We're gonna move on from this Steam Machine, and we're gonna talk about the big boy now. I have some very interesting opinions of GTA. Have you played GTA before?
I have played, like every good teenage boy at the time with a PlayStation, access to a PlayStation. I played a bunch of Grand Theft Auto 5. Yeah, I believe I played a bit of 4 at my neighbor's house, and I remember enjoying. I think you could become a police officer in like the free roam mode, and I enjoyed that because you could eat donuts or something. I don't know. I was 9. That's the thing I remember. And you know how in games you always want to do exactly what the developers don't want you to do, right? And that felt like, oh my god, I can do like the opposite. Wow, that's so cool. But yeah, I played that game, and it was mostly for the online, and you're playing with your friends, and the story's fine, it's good, but it's really not a very fun game to play single player nowadays. It's a bit dated, a bit old. I think you would agree with me.
And now we are getting a new entry, and I believe there was something you wanted to go over on the topic of GTA 6 and the way it is being handled in its marketing.
Yes, on the topic of GTA 6. In the late 1800s, Standard Oil, as led by John D. Rockefeller, was the biggest monopoly in American history as it controlled the oil industry. Rockefeller achieved, as reported by Ida Tarbell in her famous expose of the man, by getting a hold of the cheap transportation routes by assuring them that he would ship 60 carloads of oily Dale, which none of his competitors could do. He achieved this. This way, train companies offered him essentially a 70% discount in its distribution of oil, allowing Standard Oil, by illicitly colluding with local railway systems, to sell oil as cheap as possible in a way that would bankrupt his competitors, then buying them up. This is what Rockstar is doing. This is what Rockstar and Sony are doing. It's collusion. It is absolute collusion. It is a monopoly through and through, is it not, Fricka U? I mean, you're the one who really has the bigger opinion on this.
All right, I've already said from ages ago that Sony, out of the 3 big players in the console market, is the most corrupt of them all. Just on a surface level, let's on a surface level of how corrupt they are. Let's talk about how pricing is handled in my region, the UK. Okay, so pricing wise, we've got games that cost $70 now, right? Okay, sure, that's part of life now. In the UK, we have a different currency to dollars. We have pounds, and pounds is worth more than dollars. So something that is worth $70 is worth about, let's say, £60. If you go in the PlayStation Store right now, any game that is listed for $70 is listed in our region for £70, and this is the fault of Sony, and this is the fault of PlayStation. Now, to give Rockstar some credit, the $80 GTA 6 is £70 in our region, but when GTA 6 was sort of starting to roll out the advertising yesterday, there was a advertising rollout that began that was GTA 6 plays best on PS5. Why? Because it has haptic feedback on the controllers. That's it. That's all it is. And do you know what Sony's doing? They rebranded their little mobile app for PlayStation to have GTA 6 theming. When you boot up your PS5, immediately you're hit with a GTA 6 ad. I hope you know, for none of their first party games have they ever done this on the PS5. Never have they done this.
No, I mean,
where you boot up your PS5 and you're given an advertisement for one of their own games. GTA 6 is not a PlayStation game. They have no marketing deal together. So why are they doing a partnership together?
And not just that.
Seemingly.
And not just that. I mean, you got to think about the fact that it's not like GTA is exclusive to.
It's not an exclusive. It's also an Xbox.
It's coming to PC. It's coming to Xbox, but it's coming 2 months or 3 late? Did they even say how late it's gonna come? This should be illegal. This is colluding. This is creating false a scarcity to make it so people buy the PS5. It is no other thing. Do not be tricked by this. It is ridiculous. It's a ridiculous notion. It is absolutely disgusting. I mean, companies are usually disgusting already. Sony might be the most disgusting of them all with this. I mean, these guys made the Emoji Movie. They're pure evil. They're pure absolute evil.
The PS5 generation has been completely a disappointment. Not just a disappointment. It's been shocking. It's been horror generation. And when I feel like this whole generation, they've been like, we don't really need to do the first party output that much. Why? Because we have GTA 6 to look forward in the horizon, and because they've been in a better position than Xbox, because Xbox is sort of getting their hands and legs being slowly sawn off by a chainsaw. There isn't much competition, and especially now that they have a partnership going where they're basically trying to push it as GTA 6 being, if you want to play GTA 6, go buy a PS5, even though that isn't the only option to play this game. And it feels like a coordinated effort to create a big boost in sales to the PS5 for a console that, in my opinion, should not deserve it, because this has been a shocking console.
Yeah, and before we bring the callers in, or the caller, which is still Denko, I believe, which I believe is going to start being a pest here on the channel.
Oh, joy.
Before we bring that, I'm starting to think that the people at Rockstar, the executives, are just doing inside trading at this point, because the only thing that happens by PlayStation having an earlier release than other consoles is that the Sony stock is going to skyrocket if this is the success we're all hoping to be. And I'm starting to think, is there insider trading going on? This sounds so illicit and scummy and illegal. I mean, what other reason? Literally, what other reason? If you have the game working for the PlayStation, you have the game working for the Xbox. The only thing you need to do is change the UI buttons, as far as I'm aware. There's no words to express this. It is the scum of the earth doing this release. I mean, it's like, I don't know, the devil was nicer to Faust than Rockstar is being to the general populace. It is ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
It's so baffling, because even with the most recent Xbox price increases, where Series S is now $500, to play GTA 6, the cheapest way to play GTA 6 is to buy an Xbox Series S, and nobody's talking about this. That is one of the most baffling things about this all.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Do you want to bring the caller in?
Sure. All right. Welcome in again, Denko.
You really have nothing to do today, don't you? All right. Well, what's up, Denko? What is it?
Is there a topic I'm supposed to talk about?
Yeah, that's
GTA 6.
Yeah, GTA 6.
No, I've never played a game from them.
And you've never played a Grand Theft
What games have you played?
Let me tell you what I play. I play Candy Crush,
and
and you know those puzzle games on the LinkedIn app.
Yeah, I know the LinkedIn.
Yeah,
puzzle
what?
games.
Yeah,
what?
That is my shit. That is my shit.
Yeah, you do. Which one do you do?
All of them.
All of them?
Tango is my favorite.
Yeah, I don't really go on them that much. Frank, you've never heard of the LinkedIn puzzles?
Come on.
Well, I've never had to use LinkedIn.
Yeah, but you know, maybe you.
Unemployed much?
Well, yeah. What about you, Dinko?
I work.
I'm sorry to hear, Dinko. Would you be willing to pay $80 for a code in a box that gives you a game?
Let me think about it.
You can think, but this is an entertainment show, so I'm gonna keep talking until you think about it. I mean, really, I get, like, you know. Yeah.
You know what?
Yeah, you know, it's an entertainment show. You gotta be entertaining, Dinko.
I gotta be entertaining. Isn't that your guys' job?
No. We have the call-ins, so we can pass that. So we can pass that on to you guys.
Yeah, nice. Well, a whole lot of responsibility you got. just passing it around.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't buy a Rockstar game for $80.
No, even though it's a code in a box, that doesn't. What about for $100, like they're selling with the disc?
Is it pay to win?
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah,
think that's
I-
accurate.
Well,
Yeah, I think about it.
well, you'd think about it if it's pay to win.
Yeah, I think about it. I've wasted that much money on Candy Crush.
So
to be
hold
honest.
on. If it's $80,
You waste money on Candy Crush. How do you waste money on Candy Crush? How do you do that?
You got a problem with that? It's my game. It's my life.
I understand that, but it was a question. It was a question of how. It wasn't a question like genuinely how. There's like, what do you do to spend money on Candy Crush?
Well, the levels are too hard, and I'm kind of stupid.
Too hard?
They're too hard. It's Candy Crush. Can you not look up?
These are mindless puzzles.
Could you not?
I'm on level 1,500, I think.
1,000.
Can you post a screenshot of this? I don't quite believe this.
Can you stream it on? Can you stream it right now?
Share you.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, I'd like to see that. Could you not? Question: could you not look up a guide on YouTube for the? Hold on. Let me look into this. Are you on your phone right now?
Yeah.
You don't have no computer.
Damn, I got 11 hours this week. Unemployed much?
Hold on. Let me stream this here for everyone. Oh wow, it's a bit weird looking. Wow, there it is. There it is, ladies and gentlemen. Dinko's gameplay. Let's see how good you are at this.
Oh, I'm good, all right.
All right, yeah. Let's see what the problem is then. I just don't understand how you.
gotta-
You gotta do the daily. This doesn't have your
Yeah.
name in it, right?
No, this is my name.
Okay, Dinko. Yeah.
Sorry, that's a picture of John Lennon licking Paul McCartney's feet.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah. All right. Hold on. Just
Oh
Yeah,
my
level
god,
one-
he is.
he
Level
is.
1,699.
How long have
Dude.
you? Why have you been playing this for this long?
Sorry, just 1 second.
Yeah. Yeah. Sorry.
This is meant to be hard.
Hold on. What's the gimmick in this level?
Oh, you gotta take out the Jello.
Is that not the
It's just like PinaDaPina.
just like PinaDaPina? And while we watch this, tell me, have you never played a game in a console? Never owned a console, Dinko?
I had a PS2.
A PS2.
Yeah, I played those monkey games on it.
Like what? Like Buzz? Like the Buzz
Yeah,
one with the
Buzz.
monkeys?
Yeah, Buzz.
Yeah. Like this is very revealing about who you are as a person.
Thank you.
That was
Oh,
that was
Sorry, wait.
oh no worries. I mean,
Wait.
Oh, a little spin the wheel thing. That's interesting.
Yeah.
So, Fricka, what else would you have to say about all of this, about Rockstar and this price?
Oh my god, he's spending money. He's spending money.
He's spending
Hey, it's
money?
hard.
He
What do
just spent money.
How much did you just
He used
spend?
Apple Pay. I
Transaction
just saw
success.
that.
How much did you
Ah,
spend
shit.
on that? How much was that? I wasn't looking. I wasn't.
More euro. He said more euro. Hold on, I'm gonna drag in the other. We have another caller. Welcome to the call. I love Gabe. To the call.
Oh, I love Gabe.
Yeah, he's pretty cool.
Who, Gabe?
Yeah. He's got like
Why do you love him so
What?
much?
he's got a boat,
Oh, I
and I
won.
love boats.
Oh, cool. I'm in level 1,700.
He does have a boat. He does have many. He does have multiple boats.
Yeah, he has multiple boats. But why? Why? So what? Are you here to talk about the Steam machine? Is that what you do?
I can't wait to play GTA 6 on my Steam machine.
Why?
I don't think.
I
I
don't
don't
think-
think that's coming there at launch.
No, it's not. We just talked about this. In fact, if you were paying attention.
But I love Gabe.
I love Gabe.
You love Gabe, but do you know who Gabe is?
He's got a boat.
Also, congratulations on beating that level. But
Thank you so much.
Dinko, do you know who Gabe is?
Isn't he like a musical producer?
No, it's Gabe Newell from Valve.
Oh, that sucks.
Why does that suck?
Oh. Yeah, why does that suck?
I mean,
Oh my god, he's going crazy, dude.
yeah,
Is
I'm
that-
kind of good. I'm kind of good.
Yeah, you're kind of
I've
good.
not
it?
seen this game before. Is it on the Steam?
Yeah, I think it is.
I don't.
Wait, hold on.
I don't know that that's true at all. I just don't think that's true. This is a mobile game. Why would it be on Steam? Is it
Do
on
you
Steam?
play it? Do you
I can
play it?
confirm it's not on Steam.
Thank you. I love Gabe. So
What a shame. What a shame.
yeah, I
That
think.
would have been an instant purchase because I love Gabe.
So do you own every? I'm curious about what that means. Do you own every single game on Steam?
Every single game on Steam. Every single one. I own GTA 5. I own Portal. I own.
Thank you. That was a very
Portal 2.
no. That was a very good list of the 2 or 3 games that you own on Steam. Yeah, I believe.
I own it.
Yeah, I think that's it for our call-ins right now. I don't know. We're getting much about Rockstar.
Hold on, I'm beating this level.
Yeah, yeah. No, I already took it off the screen. I'm gonna be real with you. Thank you for joining us. I love Gabe and Dinko. But I believe
I love Gabe.
Yeah, we heard the first 300 times. Curious callers. I mean, so you were saying about Rockstar.
I believe we may have to censor the stream at a later point because there were bank details on that Candy Crush transfer.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah. I would. Dinko, if you're still listening, I would really. I don't know how much I can advise you this, but please freeze that card right now. That you should, like I told you I was gonna stream it. Why would you show your bank information? That is unfortunate. I just hope there wasn't anyone trying to take advantage of you. But
Anyways.
you have a note here on our little notes. We have about 60 FPS on PS5, right?
Yes. So, I don't know if it's confirmed, but I believe I read somewhere that there is going to be a performance mode for GTA 6, which will allow it to run in 60 FPS. Now, I need you to think about this. We were on the topic of how the PS5 has been a very disappointing generation. I think the PS6, the whole PS6 generation, is going to be even worse. Because with the PS6, what the rumored thing is right now for the PS6 is that there's going to be the base model, right? That's the normal upgrade, which is already rumored to not be quite a substantial upgrade compared to previous generations. It's a pretty light jump. It will like run a couple games in 60 FPS that couldn't before. But it will have a sort of Series S SKU of the PS6, which is less power, but for a more affordable price. Now, if we really think about this, if every single PS6 game is going to be forced to support that SKU, what PS6 game is not going to be able to run on PS5?
Yeah.
Especially because if GTA 6 is being developed for multi-billion like numbers, like this is the highest development costs for any video game we've ever seen in history. If a game that expensive is able to run on a PS5 at 60 FPS, I don't think there's going to be a single game in the next decade that won't be able to run on PS5.
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, yeah, this is although we think it's going to be, I think you agree with me, it's going to be a crummy game. It's going to be the same gameplay we have seen for over a decade now. It's going to be a big leap in what we would call graphical and hardware capabilities, right? And software capabilities. And it's going to have a bunch of gigabytes for sure. It's going to be hard to run because of graphical fidelity and not because of gameplay. And if the PS5 runs that, what is the point? Generally, what is the point? And if the only difference is that one runs at 60 and the other runs at 30, I mean, is that really so much of a difference for the average gamer? I mean, could we really not survive with that kind of high fidelity video game at 30 FPS?
to be fair, a lot of people, and myself included, I believe that the standard for FPS should be 60 frames, and that every game should be 60 frames, or at least have the option to be 60 frames. That is, I feel like that's the consensus, but I know you don't. I know you don't agree with that. I know you had a little argument for Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom that I didn't need the 60 FPS, but.
No, yeah, I don't think it's the most important thing. I think the game being fun and working well is way more important than the.
That's fair.
And not just that, I just think it's, unless it's a shooter, like an online shooter where it actually does influence the gameplay, I don't think it really matters that much. But I think, I don't know if any of my monitors are 60 FPS, so maybe that might be why.
They should be.
They should be probably, but I really can't tell the difference that much, which is worrying. I mean, I watch more movies than I play games, you know that. So I'm used to 24 and 25 FPS is my sort of bar. I haven't even gone up to the 30. So that's sort of how it goes. But
now,
yeah, I agree
before we close off my section of the show, we have on the topic of gameplay. As a final point, and just to, I sort of avoided talking about it, and this is gonna get me the most heat, and I've said some very interesting things, but I don't think GTA is that good of a series. I think it has done nothing substantially new since GTA 3 on the PS2, and a lot of the stuff that people are excited to do in GTA 6 is stuff that people were excited to do in video games on the PS1. These are I've seen so much dick sucking for Rockstar lately. And it's like, oh, I can't wait to run over pedestrians. I can't wait to drive a helicopter. I can't wait to do fucking basic things in a video game. These aren't new. These aren't novel. No. These are things that people were excited to do in the PS1. We've been there. We've done that. And I've not seen... Well, to be fair, they haven't shown any gameplay for GTA 6. And the graphics right now, they've shown screenshots. They look worse than the trailers. So I imagine when they actually show gameplay in motion, it's going to look even worse. So there are going to be... Well, I sincerely hope that the people who pre-order GTA 6 and play it on day one are disappointed, because it is an industry plot series that I do not see the appeal of.
Yeah, I concur for several reasons. One, because obviously gameplay, and obviously people say, but there's no, it's going to be great. How could you say that? Do you remember Red Dead Redemption 2? Great story, but half of the enjoyment of that game is me going, I'm a cowboy. I love being a cowboy. And that's it, because
it is sort of the lop simply. And to be fair, I played Red Dead Redemption 2 and I found the world to be pretty interesting to engage with. But then I played San Andreas, and I'm looking at the gameplay for like GTA 5, GTA 4, and it's just not as interesting as Red Dead Redemption 2. It's not nearly as interesting to interact with and engage with on the same level.
Yeah, because you're not a cowboy, and being a cowboy, there's like half the work. It's like the Kinect Star Wars game. I remember watching like a review for it from a certain individual who then went on to be a problematic figure. But I remember him going like, this game's ass because it's for the Kinect, but you're like a Jedi and you're pretending to have a lightsaber, and that's really half the fun, and that makes it fun. And people like that game got reviewed well at the time, and that's what Red Dead Redemption 2 is. That's not what GTA 6 is going to be, because I don't think anyone in their lives is dreaming, I wish I could be a poor resident in Florida. I don't think anyone is out there wishing this life upon themselves. It looks harrowing.
All right, that unless you have any final thoughts, I believe we can wrap up this section. Although, as a sort of a side note, I've just witnessed people go insane because there was no Ace Attorney at Capcom Spotlight. I don't know what people were expecting. Get real, man.
Yeah, that's about the way we can do that. I will tell you now. We're gonna go for a short ad break, but join me after, and Fricka, obviously, for my part, which is gonna